months back, and the guy has, I got a lot of great respect for him because, one, I'm his mentor. I don't know if he should be mentoring me or not. But anyway, he's going to be giving his fifth speech, which your body speaks. And each project that we have in Toastmasters, from 1 through 5, you have certain things that you have to accomplish in those speeches. And this one, he'll be talks with your body. And so I'm looking very, very excited to hear what Chris, our next speaker, has to speak on. And his title for the speech is, "What Object Are You?" Mr. Chris Clark.
Hello, Toastmasters and guests. What object are you? I laughed when I thought of that. But when you look at an object and you think, how does it relate to you in some way, shape, or form? Is it an airplane? Do you see yourself soaring high in life? Is it a rock? Maybe you don't move much. Maybe you like to sit still. This past weekend, I drove to Ohio for my best friend's wedding. It's a straight shot up Highway 77. I was so intrigued by the mountains and the hills and the roads and the rivers. It's something a small town kid like myself has never seen much of, being from Battle Creek, Michigan, Cereal City. I began to daydream, but not too much, because I was obviously driving by myself, and focus isn't one of my top things in the world, so I didn't want to cause an accident. But I started thinking about all the objects I was seeing and how they related to me. So I thought it'd be cool, since it was a 7.5-hour drive, to pick different objects on the road and relate them to different parts of my life. And then when I finally got to Ohio, I picked 3 objects that related to me as a kid, in college, and as an adult right now. And then I thought, what better place to share that than at Toastmasters? And so I began driving, and I end up in the middle of nowhere. I mean, you look, it's a gas station, it's a mountain. There's all mountains. I think you got the point. So I get out the car, I fill up the gas tank, I stretch, all my bones crack from all those years of playing tennis. I walk inside, and on my right, there's a kid sitting there, and he's tossing this bouncy ball up and down, and up and down, and up and down. And as a kid, for me, my favorite toy was bouncy ball. I didn't want the basketball. I couldn't play, don't worry. I didn't want any of those stuff. I had about 30 bouncy balls, and I used to lose them every other day. And I always would go and get more out the quarter machine. So then I watched the kid a little longer. Not closely, because I didn't want to be weird or anything. I'm in the middle of nowhere. But he began throwing it off the wall and running back and forth. Throwing it off the wall and running back and forth. And he would bounce it over the chips, and he's somehow not running into anything and catches the ball. And I was like, wow, I don't know why this is so amazing, but it is. I realized as a kid, I was like the bouncy ball. See, I was probably the only kid who could go to school, go to tennis practice, go to football practice, come home, eat dinner, go back out and play, come back, watch TV, read with his mom, shower, beg to stay up late, watch TV, get caught playing video games, get grounded that night, and then do it all over again. Most people would say I was like the Energizer Bunny, but I didn't think so, because a bouncy ball, when you bounce it, at some point, it eventually stops. And that's how I viewed myself as a kid. And he made me realize just how good sometimes it is to be a kid in life. Got back on the road, started driving a little farther. I ended up in Charleston. Now, being from Michigan, the only Charleston I know is Charleston, South Carolina. So if I'm supposed to be going north, and then for a split second I think I'm going south, and I freaked out. I paid attention, I looked at the GPS, I was going the right way. I went over a drawbridge. And I don't know why, but it was something that always has interested me in life. And the cool thing about drawbridges is that they go up, and once they're up, they're hard to bring down. But when they're down, they're hard to go back up. And that reminded me of my college days. When I was up on the top, I was on the dean's list, I was playing great tennis, you know, my family was healthy, everything was good. But like the drawbridge, when I was down, sometimes I felt like I was out for the count. Family members passing away, you know, you're getting older, struggling a little bit in school, you're just having those typical college problems. But much like the drawbridge, I realized that no matter how long you stay down, you always get back up. So no matter how many times, or 30 minutes is the drawbridge down, or 2 years is the drawbridge down, at some point, you get back up. And I thought that's what made me successful in college and was able to finish my degree. Kept driving. I'm almost to Medina, Ohio. And I'm sure no one knows where it is because I didn't, and I was from Michigan, and I didn't know it until the GPS took me there. I'm almost there, and I'm looking to the right. And I see this guy hitting a golf ball. Now, granted, my driving skills in the story I'm telling you, you're probably thinking, I'm not going to ride with this guy, because I was all over the place. So I watched this guy tee off. And then I looked back at the road. I swerved around the car, because I wasn't paying attention. And then I kept watching a little bit. Don't be scared. It's all right. I'm here today to tell the story. And so I realized that at that point in time, at this point in my life, that I'm like a golf ball. It's weird, right? Well, check this out. When the golf ball was invented, it could only go so far. But the inventors noticed that the rough golf balls, the golf balls that had been bruised, beat up a little bit, went farther than the smooth golf balls. So they started making golf balls with divots so they could go farther. So I realized that every trial I've been through, every tribulation, no matter how many times I've been knocked down in life, it was just putting divots on me. I was the golf ball, and I was trying to go farther in life. So I didn't regret anything that had previously happened to me. So no matter what object you are in life, just be the best you can be. I'm sure there are thousands, hundreds of thousands of items and objects that make up you as a person. But no matter what, at the end of the day, no matter how good or bad those objects are, I'm sure it makes an incredible you, Mr. Toastmaster.